Okay, first we are going to talk about converting decimals to fraction, and then after that we're going to discuss or review the vice versa, or converting fraction to decimals. Alright, so when you convert decimal to fraction, you have to remember our number line place value. This is our number line place value. This is our decimal point. Right side from the decimal point, we have our regular place value like ones, tens, and so on. But we are going to focus on this area on the right side of our decimal point, since we are converting decimals to fraction. So the first value from our decimal point, we have our tens, or it's shown as 1/10. The second value from the decimal point is our hundredths, or it's shown as 1/100. And the third value from our decimal point is our thousands, or 1/thousands, and so on. It continues, but for this activity we are just going to use until thousands. Okay, so when you convert your decimal point to a fraction, you have to count how many digits are there from the decimal point. Example, we have a decimal point of 0.04. Our decimal point is here. Okay, so you have to count how many digits are there from your decimal point. You count 1, 2. So there are 2 digits. So since there are 2 digits, you can count from the decimal point here on the number line. You can count 1, 2. Therefore, you will be on the hundredths place value. So since we're answering in fraction, it's obvious that we're going to put a line here. So we put 100 here. And we are just going to use 4. We don't have to use the 0. So the equivalent fraction of 0.04 is 4/100. The other way that we did it before is we count how many digits from the decimal point, 1, 2. So therefore, that's how many zeros you're going to use, and then you use this number as your denominator, or rather numerator. I'll give another example. Example, you have a fraction, or rather a decimal value of 0.4. To convert that into a fraction, you count how many digits from the decimal point. We only have 1 digit, so we only have to use 1 0. Or if you're going to look at your place or the number line from the decimal point, how many digits? Again, only 1. So we move to 1. So it means we are on the tens value. So we write 10 here, and then the 4 we just write on top. Okay, another example. What if we have 0.434? Again, we are still going to count the digits from your decimal point. We have 1, 2, 3. So how many zeros are we going to use for that? We have 3 here, so we are also going to use 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, and you put 1 there. It's the same if you're going to use the number line. 3 digits from the decimal point, so 1, 2, 3. It's also thousand. So for the numerator, you just copy this number, 4/1000. Okay, simple as that. That's how you convert your decimals to a fraction. So the next, I am going to show you how we are going to convert fraction back to decimal point. So that is how you answer this area, okay? Converting decimal point to fraction. Now I'm going to explain how to do this, convert fraction to decimal point. Notice that all of these fractions are improper, or rather proper fractions. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. 1/3, 4/5, 1/3, they're both the same, so you get the same answer. 8/10 and 3/10. Okay, they are proper fraction because we are going to convert them to decimal point. proper fraction always converts to decimal point. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Example, we have a proper fraction of 3/5. So to convert a fraction to a decimal point or to decimal value, we need to use our division, our long division. So we have this sign. The number that we put outside or our divisor is always our denominator. No matter what's the number in your denominator, that is always your divisor or the number outside. So in this example, I'm going to write 5 because 5 is our denominator. And the number that you're going to put inside for your dividend will always be your numerator. No matter what the number is on the numerator, that's the number you're going to put inside. So for this example, we have 3. So I'm going to write 3 inside. Since this is a proper fraction, always the number inside is smaller than the denominator or the number outside our divisor. So 3 divided by 5 cannot fit inside 3, therefore we use our decimal point. This is where you use your decimal point, okay? Proper fraction. So we put decimal point beside 3. We're also going to put decimal point on top, like that. Now after you put the decimal point, you just add 0 here. Now you disregard the decimal point at this moment. You count this as 30, okay? Disregard decimal point at this moment. So how many 5 can fit inside 30? 6. Therefore, you write the answer on top, the right side of the decimal point. Do not put the answer here. Always put it on the right side of the decimal point. So we write 6 here. Now do the regular division. 6 times 5 equals 30. So you write 30 here. Then we take away. 30 minus 30 equals 0. So we have the answer here, 0.6 or 0.6. Therefore, 3/5, the equivalent decimal value is 0.6. Okay, that is how you get the answer. Okay, and I'll give you another example. Let's say we have 1/3. We convert 1/3 to a decimal point. So we use 3 outside as our divisor. We put 1 inside as our dividend. Since 3 cannot fit inside 1, we use decimal point. And then you add 0 here. Now disregard the decimal point at this moment, and you count how many 3 can fit inside 10. Of course, there's 3. Now put the 3 on the right side of the decimal point. Now you multiply. 3 times 3 equals 9. Then take away. 10 minus 9 equals 1. Now we have a remainder 1 here, but do not put this on top because we already have our decimal point here. You cannot put another 0.1 there. What you do is you just add a 0 here. Add 0 there, and then you bring down 0. Again, you have the number 10. Now you count how many 3 can fit inside 10. Again, there is 3. So 3 times 3, again it's 9. Take away. Again, we have number 1. You add 0 here. Bring down 0. How many 3 inside 10? Again, there's 3. 3 times 3, 9. Take away. It's 1. And as you can see, it will go on with 10 minus 9, 10 minus 9, and then the answer here will continue to 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. You can stop on the third digit or the third number, and then you can round it off. But since 3 is less than 5, so your answer can either be 0.33, or you can write a line on the first digit 3, 0.3 and a line. If you do this, 0.3 and a line, it's understood that the 3 is going on, like 0.33333. Okay, that's how you deal when you have a similar answer or similar number on top, 3333 or 4444, 2222. Okay, you either you stop on the third digit and you round off, or you just put a line on top of the first digit. Okay, last example for fraction converting to a decimal point. We have 5/6. Again, we're going to use our division. Number we put outside is our denominator. Our dividend will be our numerator, 5. Now, again, 6 is bigger, or the number outside is bigger, so you use decimal point. You put decimal point on top as well, and then you add 6. Now we have 50. How many 6 can fit inside 50? There are 8, so you put 8 on the right side of the decimal point. 8 times 6 equals 48. You take away 50 minus 48, answer is 2. Again, you do not put this on top, rather you put 0 here, and then you bring down 0. Now we have 20. How many 6 can fit inside 20? There are 3. You can extend the line. There are 3, so 3 times 6 is 18. You take away 20 minus 18, it's 2. Again, we have 2 here, so we just add another 0. 0, bring down. How many 6 inside 20? Again, there's 3. So 3 times 6, it's 18. Take away, again, there's 2. It's gonna be the same here, so you can stop on 3 digits, okay? Since you all have 3 digits here, you can round off. Check the last number. The last number we have here is 3. Since it's less than 5, so we just answer with 0.83. Therefore, 5/6 equals 0.83. Okay, do not put line here, okay, because the answer is 0.8333. It's not 0.3333, or it's not 0.8888. Okay, so you just take the first 2 after you round off. Okay, so that's how you convert fraction to decimal point. So that's how you answer this part of your activity. Okay, so next review is we have converting improper fraction. This time we have improper fraction to a mixed fraction, and mixed fraction converted to an improper fraction. Okay, we are going to do that. I'm going to give you an example, or rather examples. We're actually using this method when we do our when we multiply or when we subtract fractions. Okay, first we are going to talk about improper improper fractions to mixed fraction. Okay, so we're going to convert. Let's say we have 8/3 or 8/3. Improper because our numerator is bigger than our denominator. To convert improper fraction to a mixed fraction, again we are using our division. So our divisor is our denominator 3. Our dividend is our numerator 8. Again, you don't confuse this with the decimal point, because this time we are using improper fraction, and the number inside is bigger than the number outside, or dividend is bigger than your divisor. All right, so do not use decimal point here. With improper fraction, you don't use decimal point. You only use decimal point when you're dealing with proper fraction. Okay, all right, so now we continue. How many 3 can fit inside 8? There are 2. So we write 2 on top here. So 2 times 3 equals 6. You take away 8 minus 6, we have 2. Now this time, since we're not using decimal point on top and there's no more number here on the dividend, 2 will be our remainder. Again, do not confuse yourself. Maybe you will put 0 here and bring down 0. No, don't do that. You only do that when we already have decimal point. But since we are not using decimal point here and there's no more number here, your 2 will be our remainder. So put point here or decimal point 2. Okay? Therefore, the answer to make this a mixed fraction, the number on the left side from our decimal point will be our whole number. The number on the right side from the decimal point will be our numerator. And this example we have 2. And our denominator will still be the same, 3. Okay? So 8/3, the equivalent mixed fraction is 2 and 2/3. That's how you convert improper fraction to a mixed fraction. Again, a reminder, when you're converting improper fraction to mixed fraction, do not use decimal point here. Okay, I'll give another example. Let's say we have 7/4 here. So we're going to use our division still. Divisor will be our denominator. 4, the numerator will be our dividend or the number inside. Now again, the number inside is bigger than our divisor or the number outside, so do not use decimal point here because this is an improper fraction. The numerator is bigger. So how many 4 is inside 7? There's only 1 rather, so you put 1 on top of 7. 1 times 4 equals 4. Take away 7 minus 4 is 3. Again, do not add 0 here because we don't have the this decimal point here. We're not using decimal point here. So 3 will be our remainder. So this is the time you move 3 on top with 0.3. Okay, so mix number 1, whole number 3, numerator, we have the same denominator 4. So the answer is 1 and 3/4. 7/4 is equivalent to 1 and 3/4. Now this time we are going to convert mixed fraction back to improper fraction. So this is easy. Actually, everything is easy. Okay, so listen. Let's say we have a mixed fraction of 2 and 3/4. What you need to do is you multiply your denominator to the whole number and you add the numerator. So 4 times 2 equals 8. Let's say I'm going to write 8 here. Now 8 plus 3 equals 11. So therefore our numerator is 11. And the denominator is still the same. We just copy 4. That's it. This is our answer. Simple as that. I'll give you another example. Let's say we have a mixed fraction of 4 and 2/6. Again, you're just going to multiply your denominator to the whole number 4. So 6 times 4 equals 24. So let me just write a small 24 on top here. So 24 you're going to add to the numerator. 24 plus 2 equals 26. So 26 is our numerator, and for our denominator you just copy 6. So this is our final answer. You don't have to simplify it. I'm just asking you to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction. So that's our answer. Simple as that. Okay, so that's how you answer these two activities: converting improper fraction to mixed fraction and converting mixed fraction to improper fraction. All right, the next we have putting this fraction from smallest to greatest. And we have examples here. They are fraction. So what I'm going to, of course, I'm going to give you an example. But as a tip, it's better that you always convert them into a decimal. Okay? Always convert them to decimal so that you'll see the value. Okay, so ordering fraction, you always order from smallest to greatest. Let's say we have these example fraction: 3/4, 5/2, and 1/6. So what you're going to do, it's best that you convert them to a decimal, to their decimal value, so that you will see which one is smallest and which one is the greatest or the biggest. Okay, so you can use a scratch paper or an extra paper for that. Let's say this is my extra paper. Okay, so first let's convert or see what's the decimal value of 3/4. So again, we use division for that. 4 will be outside, 3 will be inside. Now this time, this is proper fraction, so the number inside is small. So we put decimal point here and decimal point there. Now you add 0. Now how many 4 can fit inside 30? There are 7. So I'm going to write 7 here. 7 times 4 is 28. 30 minus 28 equals 20. Since we already have decimal point here, you just add 0 and you bring down 0. Now we have 20. How many 4 is inside 20? There's 5. So you write 5 there. 5 times 4, 20. Take away, now 0. Therefore, 3/4 is equivalent to 0.75. Now we know that. Now let's move to the next one. We have 5/2. So let's say 5/2 here. Again, we are going to use division or convert it to a decimal point. So 2 will be inside, or rather outside, or 5, or our numerator will be inside. This time we're dealing with an improper fraction, or the number on top, numerator is bigger, so the number inside is bigger. We don't use decimal point since the number inside is bigger. How many 2 can fit inside? 5? There are 2. So you write 2 here. 2 times 2 is 4. Take away 5 minus 1 is, or rather 5 minus 4 is 1. So 1 will be our remainder. Therefore, 5/2, the equivalent is 2.1. Okay, so we already have 0.75 and we have 2.1. Now we do the last one, 1/6. So 1/6. Again, we convert it to its decimal value using division. 6 will be outside, our divisor. 1 will be inside as our dividend. Now this time 1 is smaller, or the number inside is smaller, so we use decimal point. We put point here, we put point on top. Now we add 0 here. We have 10. How many 6 can fit inside 10? It's only 1, so I'm going to write 1 there. So 1 times 6 equals 6. Then we take away 10 minus 6, 4. Then we just put another 0 there. 0, bring down. Now 40. How many 6 can fit inside 40? There is 6, so I'm just going to write 6 here. 1 times 6 is 36. So take away 40 minus 36 is 4. So we can, you can actually stop on the second digit because it's still going to be the same. 40 and then 36. It's going to be the same. Or if you want to continue, you can write 0 here. You bring down 4, or you bring down 0. How many 6 inside 40? There are 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. Take away, and again it's 4. You can stop here. Now we have the answer of 0.166. So you can round off, since the last digit here is 6 and it's bigger than 5. So this second 6 will be 7 because you round it off. So the answer is 0.17. Okay, or you can write 0.166. It doesn't matter. They're both the same. So now we have the value. We can see the value. 3/4 is 0.75. 5/2 is 2.1. 1/6 is 0.17. Okay. So which one is smallest? From 0 here, Of course, this one is big because it has a whole number 2 here, 2.1. So we know that this one is biggest, 2.1 is biggest, or 2 is biggest. So we deal with that later. But first, let's think which one is smallest. So from decimal point here, move to the left, or rather move to the right. The digit here is 1. Here, from the right, the first digit is 7. So which one is smallest, 1 or 7? 1 is of course smallest. Therefore, our smallest fraction here is 1/6. So I'm going to write 1/6 here. Now, what's next after 1/6? Of course, this one, because this has a whole number 2. This has 0. So the second one is 3/4. I'm going to write 3/4 here. And the last is, of course, 5/2. And write 5/2 here. So this is your answer. That's how you order a fraction from smallest to greatest. Okay? So always convert the fraction, the given fraction, to its decimal value so that you will see which one is small and which one is big. Okay? Right, so that's how you answer your this activity. Again, always convert them to its decimal value so it's easier for you to find or to compare smallest to greatest. Okay, next activity. This is second to the last. This is easy. We've done this before. All you need to do, okay, let me just read the instruction. You have to write the sign less than, greater than, or equals, okay, in the middle. So in this process, it's very easy. You just have to use the crisscross method. I am gonna explain how to do it. So for this activity, you're going to write if it's greater than, less than, or equals. You will be given two fractions, and you're going to write the answer in the middle. Let's say we have the fraction of 5/6 over 2/5. For this, you're going to use the crisscross method. You're going to multiply upwards, okay? So 6 times 2 equals 18. I'm sorry, 6 times 2 equals 12. So I'm just going to write a small 12 here. You can rub it off later, whatever number you will write. Now, 5 times 5 equals 25. So I'm going to write 25 up here. Again, always always write your answer upwards. Don't go down. So multiply upwards or going up like that. 6 times 2, 5 times 5, like this. Now we have 25 and 12. Now which one is big? 25 or 12? Of course 25. So therefore 5/6 is bigger than 2/5. This is your answer. It's very easy. You just use the butterfly or the crisscross method. I'm going to give you another example. Say we have 1/2 and 3/4. Again, you're going to use crisscross method. You're going to multiply upwards. So 2 times 3 equals 6. 4 times 1 equals 4. So I'm going to write 4 here. So you compare 4 and 6. Which one is bigger? Of course, 6 is bigger. So I'm just going to write like this. 1/2 is less than 3/4. That's just how you get it. It's very easy. Now for equals, it is very obvious. If you have fraction of, let's say, 3/4 and 3/4, they're the same. Even if you're going to use crisscross method, 4 times 3, 12, 4 times 3, 12. But you don't have to use crisscross method because you can already see that they're the same. Therefore, equals. 3/4 equals 3/4. That's all. So that's how you're going to answer this activity. Just use crisscross method. Remember, always multiply upwards. So this is our last activity. All right, this is our last activity for our math review or unit review. Fraction quantities. You're just going to okay, I'm going to explain. I'm going to show the examples. In fraction quantities, we are going to get the fraction of a given number. Example, here we have 1/4 of 16. So we need to find the 1/4 of 16. To do that, you're just, Note that our numerator here is 1. If your numerator is 1, all you have to do is you're just going to divide the number given here to your denominator. In this example, the number given, or the whole number, is 16, and we're just going to divide it with 4. So 16 divided by 4. You can use your regular division, the long division. You can use a scratch paper for that. Or if you can memorize your times table, then that would be great. But if you don't know, you can use your long division. So you write 16 in the middle, and rather inside, and you write the 4 outside, because that's our denominator. So how many 4 can fit inside 16? There is, of course, 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. Take away 16 minus 16 is 0. So the answer is 4. So the 1/4 of 16 is 4. Simple as that. So this is our answer. That's how you get fraction quantities. If the numerator, take note, okay, if the numerator is 1. What if the numerator is not 1? What if it's more than 1? Okay, I'll give another example. We have 2/3. Let's say 2/3 of 15. We need to find the 2/3 of 15. Now our numerator is not 1. It's more than 1. It's 2. So the first thing that we need to do, if our numerator is not 1, is the same with the first. We are still going to divide our number here to our denominator. Again, if you can memorize your times table, then you don't have to do the long division here. But if you don't, the long division is helpful. So 3 we put outside, and the 15 we put inside. So how many 3 is inside 15? Of course, there's 5. So 5 times 3 equals 15. Take away 0. So we have the answer 5 here. But wait, that's not yet our final answer, since our numerator is not 1. So 5 here, you're just going to multiply with our numerator, 2. So 5 times 2. You just write 5 times 2. 5 times 2 equals 10. Therefore, the answer for this question, 2/3 of 15, is 10. Okay, that's how you get the answer for fraction quantities. Okay, recap here. If the numerator is 1, you're just going to divide the given number to the denominator. So you divide 16 by 4, or 16 divided by 4 equals 4. So 1/4 of 16 is 4. That's how you do it if the numerator is just 1. But if the numerator is not 1, like this one, we have 2/3 of 15. What you need to do is you're still going to divide the number to the denominator. So 15 divided by 3, the answer to that is 5. And you're just going to multiply it to the numerator. So 5 times 2 equals 10. So 10 is the answer. That's how you get the fraction quantities of the number. So that's how you answer this activity, okay? Always check the numerator. Like